Okay, but I don't know, all of a sudden it's not pushing my alerts. I'm getting a red text and it converts it to red and nothing's getting pushed.
That usually means there's an internet connection.
Really? Huh. Let me close and re-enter and see what's up, because my internet's working pretty good. So.
All right, guys, we'll start up in 2 minutes. I'm just going to push out the link to the social medias and then we'll get started. All right, team. Hey, Chuck with Traders War Room, and we're going to go ahead and start the lunchtime crunch. But man, real quick, guys, what a day today. What a day. SPY, QQQ, IWM. I mean, all three platforms that we run are absolutely just killing it. We had a couple fobbles, the Halloween trade that we did in the Halloween challenge, the BA, man, that thing was looking like it was ready to explode. And then, it's a Dow stock. So it just kept, while the other market was pumping, the Dow stocks kind of were sitting there just fluctuating a little bit, but we're going to get that one back. I think BA, give it a little bit of time. I think it'll be a good swing trade, but we'll catch that one back. But man, making some good money today. The Discord, the instant message platform, the text message platform. I don't know another server out there that has as many options as Traders War Room does that isn't a big boy server, like some sort of subset of CNBC or some sort of subset of, Bloomberg or something. I mean, we're really coming out swinging, guys. So thank you for coming along with us on the journey and being part of the TWR family. Real quick, before we get started, I always am talking about it's October. It's our birthday month. If you guys are tuning in and you are free TWR Market Warriors, think about joining our premium program now, man. The month of October is our birthday, okay? We're 2 years old as a company, and we have fantastic deals, man. Pretty much everything of our platform is 50% off or more, okay? The more equals to longer things like an annual plan or something like that. But a month-to-month plan, everything we did, we slashed the prices 50% off. But I'm telling you, okay, we offer too much to keep these prices at this level. And after this birthday, these prices are never going to go back to being this cheap. I promise you that, because we just offer too much quality, too much content, and put too much effort into giving you guys our very best to keep the prices that low. We'll do deals and stuff, but as far as the 50% off and stuff like that, the prices will never go that low again because we just offer too much. So take advantage of it this entire month. I'm giving you 31 days to get squared away and get part of TWR if you're not part of the premium market warriors. So take advantage of it. Started getting a lot of heat on the text message platform, man. This is burning up, guys. The text message platform is a different platform than our other ones, okay? This is just simple alerts, okay? We got an algorithm that's running this, and it's an algorithm that I created, so it trades like I trade. And, basically, when the algorithm gives me a particular trade, I look at it, I look at the chart, and then if I like the trade, I go ahead and I enter it myself, and then I push the alert, okay? You're not getting any of these alerts that I'm not entering myself, okay? I'm not like that, all right? If I push out an alert, I'm in the trench fighting with you, okay? I like the General Patton type of analogy, all right? I'm out there with the troops, okay? We're going to war together, all right? I'm not back in DC, planning the war back in an office or something. No, I'm on boots on ground. We're fighting together, all right? That's how I lead, okay? We're going to succeed together or we're going to fail together. Most of the time we succeed together. Sometimes we fail together. It happens. But the text message alerts, man, are picking up steam. And it's a good compliment. Example, one of the persons, they have actually all three platforms. They like the Discord for the overarching everything type of platform, but they also like the instant message platform for the less noise and just alerts type of thing. But sometimes they have office meetings and stuff like that. So they enjoy the text message because it's a very simple, just kind of a quick little, hey, I'm getting into this. You should check this out. So, to each their own, but every platform offers the users something special and something different, tailored to their trading personality. And that's what we want. Trading University got a lot of hits on this one coming in recently. So I wanted to hit a couple notes real quick. So this is self-paced, okay? The curriculum is based off of a 8 to 10 week curriculum style, college level, on investing and trading, all right? That's how we wanted to run it, okay? But it's self-paced, okay? So if you don't do it in 10 weeks or whatever, you have access to this for lifetime. I don't care if it takes you 1 week to finish all of the curriculum or it takes you a year to go through the curriculum. The curriculum is there, okay? And as alumni into your course, you're going to get consistent updates every time we push an update. We review the material quarterly, and if it's still relevant, we keep it. And if it's not, we make changes to it to keep it relevant, to keep it current. And as alumni, you get to stay in there with the other classmates and get to talk shop with future, past, and present, students of this trading university. So if it's something you're into, digital course, various topics, self-paced, and lifetime access, definitely check it out, man. You can go to the website, you can ask questions, hit me up, email, DM, business line, whatever you want, man. I'll answer anything you got, man. Open book. And finally, the mentor session. This is, self-explanatory. You need a little help refining. You just need some coaching. You want some mentoring, man. We got you covered. I don't know anyone else out there that offers what we offer for the price that we offer. So if you really want something special, we got you covered. Okay. So check us out, man. We're booking out about 3 to 4 weeks right now. We got a lot of momentum going into this end of the trading year. So if you really want to get in, get yourself booked up so we can get you squared away, and you get the recording and you get any of the documents that we utilize, such as PowerPoint presentation or cliff notes and stuff like that. And we're actively looking for the 2023 campaign. Guys, we want our 2023 campaign, of course, was Make the Market Bend the Knee in 2023. We want something for 2024. We want you guys to come up with it. Now, what do you get if you're selected? Well, on December 1st, we're going to select the winner, and you're going to get lifetime access to all 3 platforms. You're going to get lifetime access to one of the TWR University courses that you choose. We're going to give you a box of TWR merchandise and swag, and you're going to get a cash prize. Listen, all you got to do is send me an email, a direct message, a text message to the business line, whatever, of a 2024 campaign that kind of hits the ideas of what TWR stands for. We look at the market like a war zone. Stocks and sectors are the battle. We want to attack, conquer, destroy as a team, as a unit, and we want to go to war. That type of environment is what we want to talk about in 2024. We just want the slogan. We want you to create it, and we want to highlight you and get you some great, TWR merchandise and, stuff for your, participation. And then we're going to roll with that in 2024. Now, without further ado, as always, if you're ready, you follow me. Let's go to war. Give me one moment while I switch screens. We're going to go ahead and hop into the Webull and get some live trading. All right, here we go. All right, let's start off with BA, because BA kind of got me, upset a little bit, because I was expecting this. This one was our Halloween challenge that we did, and we were expecting this to pop a little bit more and hold the levels. It ended up, as you see, we had this purple line here, and this is what we had. People ask me all the time. They're like, "Hey, do you use stop losses at percentages or something like that when you're doing option contracts?" Sometimes it depends, right? But when I'm usually trading off of Dow stocks specifically, okay, the big boys, right? I don't use so much as percentages on the actual option contract, as more I use levels on the actual stock itself, okay? Such as, because they fluctuate so much, right? A little movement in a Dow stock is going to make this push really high, push really low, really quick, right? So you got to set your levels. So I ended up putting this purple line. I said 186 in the chat group was going to be our no cut zone. We ended up closing below that on a 5-minute chart, and we had to cut. That's just being disciplined. All right. We really thought this was going to pop a little bit more. I still like this trade. I like this to 95. I show you what I mean when I look at the longer chart here, and this is why I like it. Right, we're going to go ahead and take out the line, right? So when we look at Boeing, we look at it that it's been on this descending pattern for a while, right? And actually, let's go into single charts real quick, just so I can get this without all this other stuff. Okay, when we look at Boeing, we notice that it's been on a descending pattern for a while. Okay, and there we go. It's been on this descending pattern for a while. And typically Dow stocks like this, specifically, they get these long runs in these channels. Okay. This is you can consider this a downward trading channel or whatever you want to, right? Downward wedge. This is pretty long for a wedge, but a downward trending channel for sure. Right. And then we get these pops, right? And then we come back and we hold support, previous support, right? So off of this pop, we fail to break out. But then we come back down and we hold this level. And we're still holding the bottom level here, right? We're still holding this bottom level where we've been at before, this 184, 183, stuff like this, okay? This is telling me that this is the exhaustion point, other than a huge catalyst to the downside, such as, the recession is here type of news, or, the 737 MAX blows up because the engines are faulty, some crazy event like that usually will bounce. And what tells me is we're consolidating. We're also very tight. Price action is very tight. Okay. There's not much fluctuation. It's very tight. It's telling me that eventually we're going to move out from the bottom. Okay. Also, volume is lightening up on the sell side. Okay. You see some selling volume here, and that's because it's pushing us downward, right? But as we come into current times, our selling volume is lower and lower, and our buying volume is starting to increase. So sooner than later, we're going to pick up from here. We're going to pop, all right? And then, of course, I got my move right there, just putting it up to the top. That's where we're going, okay? We're going to go retest that area, see if we can hold it. And my idea is coming out of this downward trending channel that we've been in for so long. You pop once, all right, cool. We come down, we hold support. The next pop, we usually break, okay? And then we just start leveling up. From here, the next break looks like we'll probably push up to about 205, right? Because that's the next level of some heavy pressure and consolidation. And then, we'll see where we're at from there. But right now, from 185, the area of interest is on its way to 195. And I'm just waiting for it to pop. And once we get that, it's going to be explosive. It's going to be awesome. There'll probably be some news catalyst along with it, some sort of good news story, whatever. And that's probably just what's happening right now, is just a little bit of seller's exhaustion, buyer's exhaustion, and just kind of the waiting game while it's consolidating here. So we're going to keep an eye on this one. We're going to not get out of this playing this one. Of course, if we break to the downside, we'll ride this one down for sure. But most likely, we're going to stay in this consolidation, and the pop is going to be to the upside to go retest that 195. And that's exactly what we're expecting to trigger off of, which is why I like the trade. And we're going to keep looking at it, because little movements in the Dow stock pay up big in this one. And so we like it. All right. Ooh, we don't want the 1 minute chart. Going into the 15. Let's go back to the 5 minute. I'll start looking at some other stuff. All right, let's look at SPY. All right, what happened with SPY today? Well, coming out of yesterday's market, right? Coming into pre-market, we started selling off, okay? Then we hit, kind of the bottom and started popping off pretty big, right? And we'll go ahead and take these lines off. I want a clear chart. All right. So what caused this big move here? Well, we had some retail numbers that came in and showed strength and growth, right? Some stability. All right. We also had some Fed comments come in that were actually dovish. They were less hawkish. They were saying, things to the effect of, I think it may be appropriate to go ahead and wait again and see what the data is showing us, because the data seems to be showing the idea that inflation is slowing, and heaven forbid, what the Fed is doing is actually working currently. You know what I mean? That's kind of what the data is showing. That's what some of the analysts are saying. So we saw, those numbers, plus we saw the Fed comments causing a little push here. We're having a little bit of a sell-off right here. I don't know if there's any type of news that came out here recently. No member has to vote. We might have just a little bit of just normal midday selling off, or might be, into this September industrial production was too strong. Lawmakers vote against Jim Jordan. So we got some of these lawmakers, that we got some Capitol Hill stuff going on and things of that nature. But I just think also it's, midday, we're seeing a little bit of a sell-off, just people being cautious. And what would likely happen is probably we're going to come out of this descending channel here. And we're coming close to the 50-day on at least the 5 minute. when we look at it on the 15-minute chart, it doesn't look as bad, right? We haven't broke anything onto the 50. We haven't even broke our longer EMA yet. We're just downtrending, right? Once we start breaking the longer EMA and then we start breaking the 50, then we're looking at probably some bearish continuation to the downside on the longer chart. On the 5-minute chart, it looks pretty bad for right now. We wouldn't want to enter into a long trade. We also wouldn't want to go short either, not until we get confirmation on the 15-minute chart, like we get a full candlestick below both these moving averages. Remember the 3 reasons why to push to buy, right? We want to have confirmation. Yes, we got a trigger here, but we got price action still above one of our moving averages. We'd like it to be below both. We're kind of consolidating on the RSI here. MACD is already crossed. SMI is already crossed. And so we're just looking for some continuity on the 15-minute chart to give us the go ahead to go short. So once we get that, and yes, people are like, man, you missed this though. When you're looking for those, you miss these. Yeah. But if we take this trade here and we ride this down, we're gambling essentially. Yes. Can you do the trade? Yeah, absolutely. And you can get lucky a lot of times, but how many times have you taken a short trade because you got a couple good signals and then it just reverses on you, or it chops around and just destroys premium, right? So we're trying to, at least when we're doing these live tradings, we're trying to teach best case practices so that we don't get the bad habits that all of us traders do, because I trade like that too. I would have took this trade. Yeah, sure. And it would have worked out, hindsight being 2020. But how many times have we taken a short trade here? Like, for example, we taken short here after it popped and we expected a little short push. We took a trade here and then it just popped and reversed on us. And we had to average down to get out, or it just took off on us and we had to cut it, right? Happens all the time. So in order to prevent that, we use time frame continuity. We push over here and we look for the continuity over here on this one. We would like to have the shorter cross the longer, or price action be below both the moving averages, since we have multiple indicators of continued pressure here. That would give us good confirmation of continued downtrending pressure here. So SPY does look like it's selling off a little bit. And once we got the confirmation, I'd feel okay probably going short on SPY, specifically if we get the sell signal on a 15-minute chart. It'd be a good idea to go ahead and swing shorts on SPY. Let's look at the Q. What's funny is the Q was the one that was sucking earlier compared to the SPY, yesterday. And the Q is not doing as bad. You don't see as much of a dramatic drop. Basically, big tech, I think, is probably holding the Q up. We got some definite issues with big tech, NVDA and a few other ones, but the Q is holding up fairly well. Again, you got the sell signal. Yeah. You're below your moving averages. Yeah. But you just crossed. Okay. We're looking for confirmation. We're about to get our confirmation here on the 15-minute chart to the downside. So it might be an indicator of going ahead and looking for the short play with a long alternative, just in case we ended up triggering. Yeah. So we'll be paying attention to these, potentially looking for the short entry, but having the long entry on the back burner in case we false signal and we get the reversal to the upside. IWM, I want to highlight this one because a lot of people don't trade this. And I love the IWM, man. This is the smalls and mids. And don't sleep on these guys. Okay. Don't sleep on these smalls and mids, man, because when IWM moves, it moves. I mean, look at this move, 172 all the way, and it pushed up to 176, $4 push on the IWM. Dude, that's huge. Okay. That's huge. And the contracts usually, are pushed out like 2 days and stuff. I mean, when you look at the IWM, what was the trade that we did earlier? I think we did we had the 18 October, we did the 176, right? From yesterday, this is up 288%, guys. Swing trading to 176, up 288%. And you can see the volume is increasing. It wasn't this big yesterday. It is now. You know what I mean? People are starting to get into it now. But yeah, the IWM is one of those that it's a sleeping giant, man. I'd be paying attention to this all the time. I love trading IWM. You can see on the 15-minute chart, it gives really good. You got your really good classic push up. You got your explosive up, your consolidation, your explosive up. So you got your leg up, consolidation, leg up, and your long consolidation with a further with continuation, right? We probably, being a classic trader, if we were doing this right, after we got the second push, we would want to go ahead and put stop losses on so we can secure our gains, right? And usually what you do with the stop loss is you just go ahead and you put it at the table where you're at before. So once you push to the first table, let's go ahead and wait. You got a stop loss idea, right? Not a hard stop loss, but a stop loss idea at 50% of the push, right? We get the second push and we start consolidating. We start consolidating out. We're going to go ahead and put our stop loss at the previous table where we were at. That's where we'd want to put our stop loss. And then if we push up again, like we did here, we go ahead and put the stop loss at the previous table. That way, all this from here to here is all money. Yes, would we miss out on some of these gains here unless we secured 100%? Absolutely. But, you're still preserving, you're giving yourself room for it to continue, and you're preserving capital. Now, of course, once we saw the signals here down, we'd be exiting here, because remember, 3 reasons why to push to buy, 1 reason why to exit. As soon as we get this confirmation of the downtrend here, maybe we don't exit here, but as soon as we consolidate out and we start pushing to the downside, that's exit criteria. We got to exit the trade because the momentum has shifted. Because we got to remember, this is a trade. This is not investment. This is a trade. Okay, we're trying to make money. If we want to invest in it, yeah, we invest long, sure. But if we're trading, we want to make money. We want to preserve that capital. So if we don't leave out of this long push to the downside, which we could have, volume increased, it gave us the signals to go ahead and decrease. All we need is 1 to exit, right? We would have, as soon as we consolidate out here and we started seeing the remnants of pushing lower on our moving average, that's where we go ahead and exit out. Let's go ahead. I got a screener here. Let's go ahead and pay attention to I want to look at the big boys. All right. Dexcom's doing pretty good today. This one's getting beat up pretty recently. I like to pay attention to this when you start to see the healthcare industry moving. Johnson & Johnson had some pretty good earnings coming out. They were struggling a little bit earlier. I haven't looked at them recently, but anytime you start hearing healthcare stuff, words booming through the news factory, Dexcom should be one of those that you pay attention to. Okay, this used to be like, I don't know, it was an elevated stock. Okay, yeah, they deal with some sort of electronical devices and stuff like that, and it's a good one to pay attention to because they have a lot of underlining interest in artificial intelligence. They don't have direct interest in like the manufacturing of artificial intelligence, but they have an underlining effect with artificial intelligence. So it's something to pay attention to. We like this one. Gold is another trade we took today. We like gold. Anytime you start to see weakness in the market, gold is always a good one to go ahead and go in. And when I say weakness in the market, I mean specifically in the equities. Gold is a decent one to go ahead and trade, and we like to trade this one, and they're fairly cheap. We ended up trading a $16 call option today on this one, and right now we're up. We're up about $5 on it. Now it doesn't seem much, but hey, $5 times 5, $5 times 10, that's $50 right there. It all adds up. Everything can't be like what we did on SPY, where we went from 14 to 66. Okay, everything can't be like that. We take what we can get, and we move stop losses back to break even to protect gains. But this one looks pretty good for continuation. Got some started increasing the volume. Open interest is wide, so we like that, and we're looking pretty good on this one. So, but gold is always a good one to pay attention to, and this one's a great ticker to play the gold game, especially if you just want to get a little skin in the game. Square. We've been playing Square here recently. We're still waiting on Square. Square is one of these that we're expecting to move. It hasn't moved as dramatically as we hoped here recently. When we look at the further out chart, we're expecting, oops. There's a 4-hour chart. All right. Let me go to single chart again. All right, let's go to the 4-hour. All right. There we go. All right. Square has been beat up, right? You can see that right here. All right. We found bottom, started curling up, right? Came down, made a new lower high, right? Lower high. And we're pushing up. We're expecting a breakout from over here and a breakout. Then we're just looking at leveling up to different levels. Okay. Once we get the breakout from here, right there, right? That's what we're looking. We're looking for the break above. Once we get that breakout from there, we're most likely going to start really ramping up to go test this $50 area and see if we can hold. So we potentially got about a $5 move to the upside on Square. And I think we can get it. Maybe not this week. We might have to end up pushing out a couple weeks, but we like this trade. If we were looking at this one to give ourselves time for maturity, right? This right here gives us to 3 November, so pushing it way out. The $50 call option got the volume, right? Got the open interest. The delta to theta ratio is where we like it, right? And it's a decent price. Okay, you could go a little further out the money if you wanted, but I would stay in range. I would stay in the basic range. You want to make sure that you're in about a $5 to $7 range of the underlying on Square, so that you can stay in pretty decent range. $50 would be where I would want to get the trade. 52 would be about the max of where I would go out of the money. But $50 one is one that I'm going to be looking at, probably hopping into a swing trade, into power hour. And this will be something, of course, if I get into it, I'll alert it. But you guys have heard it here first. Square is definitely on my radar. And the $50 contract, 3 November is what I'm looking at. Go back to the dual charts. All right. Allstate. Allstate was having some issues. I think there was like some bankruptcy talking. Anytime you get a big name like this and you start talking about some issues and stuff, you're going to have a lot of institutional buying coming in. This is not the time to go ahead and hop into option contracts with this one. Shares may be long, but what typically will happen with options is it'll end up consolidating for a while in range, and the premiums will end up just losing money off of the theta decay, and it's not really worth the time. So I know everyone was hearing Allstate getting talked about, buzzed up and stuff like that, but don't get too antsy to hop into the option game with the quick buzz, specifically in the insurance game. Insurance, these get heavy hitters with the institutional buyers, and institutional buyers will keep these things elevated, and they'll just consolidate forever, just killing off premium. Okay, so just be cautious with that one. PLTR still relevant. Look like it's selling off a little bit here. Definitely we'll be looking at PLTR for a trade. I think PLTR to 20 makes sense. I got my chart. We're up at the upper level. We've done sold off here. We've held here at the bottom range, right? We're at the upper portion of our previous levels, and we're looking for the push towards this level here. We almost hit it here a couple times. We missed it. We're on our way back up to retest it. I think this time when we retest it, we get it. We break to previous levels, which would push us up about right here, 20, 30, something like that. So $20. So I'll be looking for probably some contracts. Give ourselves some time. Right here, look at this one. This looks good right here. $20 contract, 17 November. Decent price, right? You could even go 21, save yourself a little bit of money, but $20 contract is where I'm looking at. Volume or open interest, volume, delta theta ratio. Everything looks good to go on this one. And this is in the range of the movement we're expecting. And it gives us a whole bunch of time, right? We're not doing anything crazy out of the money like $25, $30 or something. If that's the case, we got to do a leap. We got to give ourselves way more time. But giving ourselves, till mid-month next month or even the end of next month and pushing up a couple bucks to our expected move on a breakout, that's a high probability setup right there. That's a good strategy, which I'm all for that one. Adobe. All right, we like Adobe. We think Adobe's going to break out of this area. We were talking about Adobe going to 560 the other day. It actually did it. It did exactly what we thought it was going to. Ended up missing it. I missed the trade. I'm a little upset about that. Tried to do it again today. Right here, pushed up there and it held that level again. We've seen this multiple times. It goes up to that level and then gets kicked back down. We saw it here, we broke over here. This is the one I missed. Broke over here and then came back down to the level. I told myself I wasn't going to miss it again when we got up there. So once we break 560, if we get to test this again, I'm gonna go for it. We do it once, we come down, we hold the levels, we pop back up again. We're looking for it. Push. If we break this again, I think we can get the break we want, and we can start pushing to 570 and above, because this level seems to be pretty decent level. And if we're holding this level, we're putting back up. It means it wants to continue to go up, and we'll get the push and the breakout 595, 600 inbound eventually. TJX, good one to pay attention to right here. We like TJX. TJX is one of the better retail names to get into. It's definitely trending harder than some of the other ones. And you can see why people like this one. It's a pretty decent stock. I don't know if you believe in Jim Cramer theory. He talks about TJX all the time. So, if you believe that Jim Cramer theory, then you probably want to go short TJX. That's kind of the theory. Anything he likes, everyone goes short on. But I like it. I like TJX. I think it has a good opportunity for the push that we're looking for to the upside. When we look at it in a further out chart, yeah, we're bullish. We just got the sell signal on a 4-hour chart, or excuse me, the buy signal on a 4-hour chart from coming out of the downtrend. So we're looking probably a little volatility, maybe a little pullback again after you get buy signal. Typically, you get a little bit of a pullback, but then we get the push, and 92, 93 looks definitely in range with extension of 93, 94. So yeah, I like this one for the push up. Giving ourselves plenty of time on this one. Let's see what we look like going into December. 95. Not bad. Not much volume though. Probably because it's December. Let's see about this. Nope. Where's the volume at? There's some okay volume. Yeah. So we just have to do some searching, find out where the volume's at. We can use one of our tools that we have inside the server to find out the volume. Open interest, delta theta ratio we like. Volume we wish is, if we're going to go in on this, we're going to go in 10, 20 contracts. That's pretty much, one half of what the volume is. So we want the volume a little spiker, a little higher. Probably wait on that one. Find out where the volume's at before we look at options on it. All right. XOM. I'm going to give you, we're going to cover 3 more that I like before we close out. XOM. I want you guys to pay attention to XOM. Energy has been kind of selling off a little bit, but it's starting to get really popping again, right? We just crossed on XOM, crossed over all of our moving averages to the upside. I like XOM to 115. Okay. I think now is the time to probably go long on XOM. Give yourself some time, allow for volatility to come in. But looking at 115 calls, got some volume. I like these right here. November 3rd, probably the November 17th. I bet has the volume though. Yep. right there. That's the one that everyone's doing. 120 for the cheaper side of the house. Open interest, delta theta ratio, everything's good. Yeah. So 17 November, XOM. That's the one I'm going to be looking at for a swing trade. 115 is going to be my target. 120 is out of the money. It's a little out of the money, more so than I would like to go. I'd like to keep it, like I said, between $5 and $6. Pushing $9 and $10 out of the money. It's a little, a little too risky for me. I like to keep it a little bit, but definitely I like the price though, and open interest and volume is definitely there as well. So not a bad idea. All right, Tesla. All right, Tesla has earnings coming up. Okay, they're expected to have really cruddy earnings. Okay, but I just want to say this, and this is me personally. Every time I've bet what Tesla should do, I've always got burnt. Okay. So when people are like, oh, they should have terrible earnings, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. They should have terrible earnings because, X, Y, and Z. And, it logically makes sense on why they should go down. They end up popping. Okay. I'm 50-50 on this. I don't know. We got the sell signal, but we're starting to curl. I think Tesla, for some reason, I got a gut feeling. I think I want to go short on Tesla because it makes sense, but I think Tesla is going to surprise and they're going to explode and it's going to go to like 280. That's what I think is going to happen. I may lotto this one and we might see what happens. But right now I'm kind of staying away from Tesla. If I'm trading it, I'm going to trade it off of day trending. But that's what I think. I want to go short because it makes sense. It perfectly makes sense on why you would go short Tesla, towards 240, right? Towards 240. But every time I do what is the norm, what should happen, I get burnt. And I'm just expecting Tesla to do some sort of magic trick and it's going to pop. And because I said that, it's going to go short this time because I'm thinking, oh, we should go short. It makes sense. Let's go long. It'll end up going short. Right? Murphy's Law type thing. And then finally, last one. Apple. All right. Apple, I want you to pay attention to this. Apple iPhone sales have been kind of, cruddy or whatever, but we're heading towards a strong support line. Okay. Apple's the general. All right. Remember this. Apple's the general. And anytime the general is alive and kicking, like, don't count them out. Okay. So Apple, I got no doubt Apple will probably bounce from support and we'll see this thing back up towards 180 in no time, no time. I mean, it was just there not too long ago, right? So we're popping down, popping up, right? On our way down, we're probably bounce from support and we're going to go and we're probably going to trade in between these little ranges for a little bit until we figure out whether we break or we're going to dump to the downside. But I got a feeling Apple's going to bounce from support and probably pop up towards and break through our previous level here of this 181. And we'll probably see 185 sooner than later. All right, guys. Hey, that's all I got for you. I'm going to put my screen on real quick so you can see me, that I'm a real person. All right. Hey, Chuck Fu with Traders War Room. Yes, I'm a real person. That was not AI companion that was talking, which we do have. I see it over here. It's a new thing with the Zoom. I'm going to try that out. But, this was me. Thank you for doing the lunchtime crunch with me. I'm going to go out, have a little lunch myself, kind of look at the market, see what we got. We made a lot of money today. I don't want to give any of it back, more so than what we did. And we're going to look for some good swing trades to close out this day. I'd like to close out this week with a really strong week coming into, October and heading into Halloween and into November, which is typically a strong month. November, December, typically strong months for the market. And so I'd like to really come out of the terrible months, the August and the September, and come in October and just come out swinging and leave our bank accounts sitting fat for Christmas. That's the goal. So without further ado, guys, I'll let you guys get back to your lunches and whatever. Appreciate you coming along with it. And as always, if you're ready, Follow me in the TWR team, man. Let's go to war. Traders War Room. Catch you guys later.